Good morning, everyone. This is David Blair, the Crosshairs Trader. I trust that you had a wonderful All Hallows Eve weekend. We're able to get out and do a little trick-or-treating, and I trust that you will have a wonderful week ahead, both in and outside the charts. I got a lot of charts I want to go over today, so let's get right to it. All right, let's start with our futures. We've hit a high again back in the spring. This is going to sound like a broken record, and we're doing the same thing again right in between all of this, and onward and upward we go in this nice melt up. So the trend continues to be up. However, we do have to watch for the S&P futures as it nears some resistance, and it's got some resistance that it's struggling with on our weekly chart, and we can see that from the dotted line here, which comes from the major moving average on my weekly chart. And let's take a look at that right quick, and you can see that right here. And there is the price resistance that goes back to the spring highs. NASDAQ futures. And again, the reason we look at the futures is it helps us determine whether or not individual trades have the power or the force or the energy of the general market behind them to help propel them higher or lower, whichever the case may be. NASDAQ broken out, however, unlike the S&P, it's broken out to its highs, and now it's just sitting in an area where I've drawn a line just to see what's going to happen here. I would really like to see some rest, but you know, the market's going to do what it wants to do. Okay. All right, let's take a look at some individual stocks. Now, what I want to go through very quickly are the stocks that we've discussed here over the last couple of weeks. I just want you to take a look at what's going on with them. Okay, so let's quickly go through these. UHS. UHS is heading up toward a possible resistance level as it has broken out here, giving us several signals in my proprietary software to give us an indication that we are going higher. We've got this signal, this one working along with it. So UHS, and I'm not going over when earnings are on these companies, but please be mindful of when those are. ADI, same thing. We got us a crosshair here, a breakout beginning to take off, and we got our long-term signal here. The only thing that's lacking is this, our strength indicator that I just started to reveal to Crosshairs traders. Apple's presenting a very interesting pattern. Up, pull back to our green home line, up, pull back to our green home line, which happens to be an area of support that we've drawn. So let's see if Apple will now continue this run possibly toward the end of the year. Okay, I like to see this on the pullbacks. And then strength on the next moves up. Okay, so that's Apple. We're watching Apple, and we know they've already had earnings. MRO, been watching some oil stocks. MRO has broken a pattern that it's been in for quite some time of some consolidation. Now we're waiting. We've got several signals here that are telling us that this stock is setting up for a long-term possibility. It's been a possibility for a long trade for quite some time, but we're still waiting on it, and I'm really liking this here as it goes sideways. So that's what we're watching. Okay. WLL, nice pullback to a support level. I'm liking this one as well. Doing exactly what we want to see on this, and then possibly getting ready to change and give us another up trade. Railroads I mentioned a couple weeks ago. Many crosshairs traders traded these and made some good money. Here's KSU. I'll just mention one of them. KSU gave us a nice crosshair and another signal that we look for, along with some strength, and had a nice move up into earnings. BEXP, one that we traded some time back up to a resistance level around the 21 level, but this was a really nice crosshair, another indicator. Our moving averages were where we wanted them to be, and we had the strength that we wanted. And now what we're watching is this consolidation for a possible continued move. BEXP. Disney, I had some crosshairs traders make some money on Disney as it broke out of this range here and took off to a possible resistance level. So we'll continue to watch Disney. CE breaking out along with our long-term signal, and then our breakout signal and our strength signal. Bunch of wonderful things going on with CE. IPI, of course, us crosshairs traders know that what I'm talking about in these videos aren't all that we look at, but it will give those who are visiting an idea of what we do. IPI, long-term line, another signal close together, and now it's possibly breaking out of an area of resistance, and we can color this green. IPI, AVGO. Here we go. Here's another one. Signal line here, strength. Now we can change this to green. If you haven't seen all the videos in the past couple of weeks, you can see I'm not cherry picking. I'm going through all of them. And so far they're all doing wonderfully well. Here's BID, BID. Everything working well on BID. I don't have to say too much. I'm just letting stocks and their charts whisper to us. Amazon, we're still waiting on. Had our long-term signal here. Had a crosshair here. Strength in here. Weakness here. Strength again up into earnings. And now we're letting it consolidate again for the next possible move. DBA, several crosshairs traders made some good money on DBA on the crosshair. However, the strength subsided right in here, and now I'm not as comfortable, so I see that this may be running out of steam, but it's still one to watch. That could easily turn green and continue higher for us. FXI had a beautiful move for us here and then got overextended. We got out right in here, but FXI is one to watch. Very volatile, as it is China. Very volatile. Had to watch that. One that we recently got into right here, ALTR. They've already had earnings. We know that. Had some strength on this. Several indicators giving us a go-ahead. We need to be watching this. If the price continues to go up and the strength is not there with it, we may have to pull the plug on ALTR, but right now looking good. Then, of course, our gold. We traded gold sometime back, us crosshairs traders, back in the August, September run, and now we're watching it, and it's doing exactly what we anticipated. It came back, found support on a gap, and now could be going higher. GDX also busting out, trying to, along that support line. GLD and GDX look exactly alike. And then we have AEM is one that I personally traded, and that's crosshairs traders traded way back here on an intraday breakout from an intraday chart that we watch. Then we had some strength on that long term, and then look at AEM. They had earnings, and now they've broken out again. All right. Those are the ones we've been watching. I know I've gone through them quickly, but look back over the last couple of weeks. You'll see we discussed them. Us crosshairs traders have at least 2-hour-long webinar discussions every week. I'm also working on a Crosshairs University that's coming up in January. Kickoff meeting is in December. That's really going to replace the mentorship program that I have going on right now, and that's simply where we learn how to trade based on focus, patience, and discipline. Learn how to trade in the crosshairs, and we do that in a one-day seminar with a manual and then 10 weeks of follow-up live webinar instruction. Nothing like it in the stocks trading industry. Would love to have you join us. Please email me at david@crosshairs.com if you're interested. In the meantime, have a wonderful day both in and outside the charts.